we can do the same posture many, many, many different ways. And so I'm gonna kind of just give you a look at if we to take one posture, something that we use often throughout all styles of practice, and that is a forward fold. We're gonna start, I've got my chair here. We're gonna start with chair yoga. Yeah, simple seated forward fold. And even within chair yoga or our yin, there's just all these different layers of what we can work with. So what we're gonna do is just keeping it really, really easy. We're gonna make sure that we kind of come to the edge of our chair, just so that we start to activate our core, getting nice and tall. Keeping the feet planted is gonna be really, really gentle. And just super simply start to give yourself a chance to kind of drape forwards. This is gonna bring a really delicious stretch up into the back of the neck, back of the shoulders, a little bit into those hips. So you can stay here for a few breaths. If you're keen to explore maybe a little bit more into the backs of the legs in addition to the upper part of the body, so if the balance is feeling good or you want a little support, we can just kind of kick those feet out. So again, we're gonna really shimmy to the edge of our chair here. I'm right kind of on my sit bones, but not falling off my chair. I've got my blocks on either side, and I'm gonna really flex my feet quite strongly, leaning a little forwards, using my core here because this is gonna be more active. We need a bit of balance. Use those blocks, lift up through the spine. So I'm really trying to take my sit bones and kind of point them to the ceiling behind me. And then I'm just gonna lean, lean, lean. And this is gonna bring a lot into those hamstrings, which usually need a little bit of love. And so we can stay straight spine, which drops it into the lower part of the body, or you're welcome to also add in that soft rounding that we explored in our first version. So this brings it all the way through that whole posterior chain, and it feels really good. I could spend a little bit of time here. So find a good breath. See if you can aim for maybe like 60 seconds to start, and you can work all the way up to like 3 to 5 minutes as your tissues get more acquainted. Okay, next in line for sort of progression, if you will, of something just a little bit deeper than the one that we just did from our chair would be something in the vein of a Yin Yoga style forward fold, seated forward fold. So it's kind of the same shape, but now my butt is actually on the floor instead of from a chair. We can stick things under our butt to just elevate, giving a little bit of leverage if you want, but we're gonna keep it just really simple for the moment here. So again, I'm flexing my feet, my legs are together, I'm using my core to get a little bit of lift here. And then I'm just going to pull forwards from my core. So you'll notice this is sort of mimicking what I just did in the chair. Let those hands kind of come down for support. And I'm kind of active with my core, pulling myself forward a little bit. Feeling things start to awaken through the legs. And then I'm going to just start to round a little bit by bringing, or to allow, I should say, more sensation through the upper neck, back, shoulders. So this is that same stretch. Seated. And again, we're going to spend a little bit of time here. Start out with 60 seconds if you can, and then just work up from there. The longer the better, quite honestly, when we're doing a passive stretch. Make sure that head hangs, get that stretch really nice. Okay, and our most active, something that you're probably going to see a little bit more in maybe a flowing style of practice, but also could happen in a more yin deep stretch style practice. So we're gonna come right up to standing, and I've brought my blocks in here for just a little bit of extra tools to use. So from standing, I kind of like to go with my feet about sit bone distance if I'm doing a bit more of a passive stretching type of version of this. And so finding just a little bit of inner lift through the belly, hugging it in. We just want to make sure that we've got lots of support here, especially in an active practice. This is not loosey-goosey. We are really, really intentional with our body. Give yourself a good stretch to start things out. And then lean at those hips and start out maybe with the knees bending a bit. Again, thinking sit bones to the sky. Use the blocks to start off. Lean into those toes just a bit. That's gonna wake up those legs a little more. And then you get to just keep going. Let your body drape and dangle. Our hanging forward fold here. So you can keep the hands on the blocks, hands can come to the floor, hands can go on the legs, grab elbows, lots of different ways that we can spend time here. The more you lean into the toes, the more things are going to fire up through that back body. And so this is a posture that we will see a lot in a flowing style of practice, our Uttanasana. So, which one looks most appealing for you today? Give it a go. Try them all out if you want to, or head to that one that feels the best. Just a little snapshot for you as to what you would find a little bit more so in any of the classes on the schedule. Doesn't necessarily mean that you might not see the same thing in all of them, but that's kind of a bit more of how the variations would adjust depending on what it is that you're stepping into for a class. So I look forward to getting to share a space with you guys in person. I always love this community that we have here. So see you guys very, very soon. Have a good one.